Okay, I'm here with Jeff from OTG Exploring, and we found this abandoned mine. Here's the portal, and we're gonna go in here and check this out. It's a pretty big portal. Lots of tumbleweeds in here, which is also prime rattlesnake habitat, but this time of year they're probably still hibernating somewhat. But in a couple months, once April rolls around, March, April, they'll start coming out. There's some timbering up here, some stalls right there in front of Jeff. So there's some of the support timbers with wedges on top of it. Looks like we're looking into a stope here that's got a lot of debris.
Those stalls are shattered.
Okay, so check out that support timber there. Let me zoom in on that. There's really not much see that? It's all splintered. Same thing with the one right here. A little bit easier to see. I call these slow motion collapses in progress. But one day it'll eventually all just come down for sure. But we're headed up that way. A bunch of boulders, like right there where my light is, have come down. Okay, we're still headed that way. Jeff's already up there. But it looks like this stope collapsed. See all those big boulders here? And you can see the smashed timbers right where my light is there. More of those wooden timbers. Looks like this big chunk here came right down on top of those timbers. Yeah, so the tunnel goes back that way, up over these boulders. It pretty much dead ends back there. Jeff already checked that out, but I'll go up there and take a quick look so you can see it. But check out this large boulder right here that fell down, probably from up here. And yeah, it's a huge boulder, a whole bunch of them here. And looks like right here on the left was some gobbing. See how those rocks are kind of neatly stacked where my light is? It's kind of like this was probably a wall of gobbing. The tunnel probably ran right through here. But all these big boulders have come down since. But that looks like a wall of gobbing. So we're at this area where you see some big support timbers there. Those are probably almost a foot on each side. And there's one by Jeff there to his right where my light is. And you can see the wedges there on top that they used to fill the gap between the back of the mine, the ceiling, and the timber itself. They stick those wedges in for extra support. And yeah, so we think the tunnel came in here. We came from that way, and it probably wrapped around here. It might have made a turn right here and went right between these two big timbers. And we're not sure what this yellow stuff is here. See this on this exposed face of the rock? It's like a real pale yellow color. I don't think that was limonite. It's not sulfur. It doesn't smell like sulfur. I believe these were gold mines, so, but this doesn't look like limonite. It comes off like in wafers, so I don't think it's limonite. But anyway, let's go check this out. Jeff's already gone through there, that gap. Okay, here's the back side of that big square timber with the wedges. We came from over in there, came around behind those rocks and came down through here, and now we're in this stope. See, it goes up there. And look on this timber here. There's a nail sticking out. That might have been a place for a miner to hang a helmet or a carbide lamp or who knows what, but that's really old. These mines date back to, I believe, the late 1800s, so this is really old school. Here are some smashed support timbers, and you can see more over there in the distance. Let me zoom in there. Yeah. Check that out right there. That's split almost in two. So we're going to make our way up here into the stope. Let's go check it out. Okay, check out this support timber. Totally split. There's the top of it. And it comes down here, totally split all the way to the bottom. So here is a retaining wall. Let me zoom in on that. You often see these in stopes. They put a wall in to prevent the rubble from coming down from higher in the stope. And that's what you see right there, that dark wood. And check out that timber there, smashed. But let's keep going over here to the right. Here's an old piece of fuse cord, probably close to a century old, 100 years old maybe. Okay, we just came up from down there and we're in this stope area. The retaining wall is right here to the right. And this gap here doesn't really go anywhere. It's just a dead end area. But the retaining wall does continue there on the right. You can sort of see it there where my light is. And then the wall continues over here. Yeah, these timbers are shot. Really not supporting too much anymore. Look at that one, it's totally crushed. But and then here's a little gap in the wall. The wall ends right over there. And then this, check out that timber, that support timber right there. It's really crushed. But that goes up in there. Yeah, Jeff went up in there and doesn't really go anywhere. There's just more collapse and there's no other tunnels apparently, but you can see a big support timber there, right where my light is. So this was definitely a major stope. And on an angle, like they usually all are. And then ore was just probably shoved through these gaps down into the ore carts that were waiting down there where the tunnel is, where we came in. And they probably took it out that way. So this big rock you see here where my light is being held up by this timber, we are pretty certain that that is the only thing holding up this huge boulder, because see how it's separated all the way around. See the crack here? So that big slab is being propped up right there by that timber. And Jeff pointed out, you can see how the timber is cracking right there, because that's where most of the weight's pressing down. There's a crack right there towards the front of the timber.
Look at all the cracks up here.
Yeah, oh yeah, all this is cracked here, the overhead.
Ready to go.
Yeah, it's coming apart. That's where all this came from probably.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so we're headed back out to the exit there. Yeah, this too much collapse in here, so we're gonna check out some other stuff.